The Chicago Bears are one of the most exciting teams coming into the NFL season because not only they're like a very young team that are looking to be on the rise and stuff like that, but people are really excited for Justin Fields to make that Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts type of jump that they have in the past few years. And a lot of us are so excited for Justin Fields to make that jump to where like a lot of us actually thinks that, including myself, that they can actually compete for a wild card spot in the playoffs. Now they did make some, big changes to their own team as they did get T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, two linebackers for their team to upgrade their defense, as they did trade Roquan Smith last year for some picks. As two linebackers for their team would be really great for them as they need their defense to actually be really good. Especially since they ended up getting Tremaine Edmonds, who's only 25 years old, who could still be one of the best off-ball linebackers in the league if, he actually develops to be that type of guy, you know what I'm saying? They also got some pretty good defensive pieces, too, that they still have from last year, like Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, and Jalen Johnson, who Jalen Johnson is a pretty underrated corner in my opinion, so, I could definitely see them, make that step to actually be that top 5 corner in the league type of player. They also invested some defensive pieces in the draft as they drafted 2 D tackles in Gervin Dexter and Zach Pickens, who both of them are D tackles, which is one of their biggest needs they need because they couldn't stop nobody on the run defense, bro. They really could. Plus, they need a pass rushers too, so hopefully this actually helps them out big time on defense. Now let's get to the biggest thing that is being hyped up, and that's the offense. And the offense should be way better than it was last year. Even though they're very exciting to actually watch, they should be more exciting than it was last year for sure. And the main reason why it should be obviously Justin Fields. Justin Fields should have a big leap in year 3, especially as a passer, since last year his offensive line wasn't that good. His weapons was basically subpar at best. So even when they traded for Chase Claypool, their weapons wasn't that good. And honestly, Justin Fields was the only reason why this team was even watchable last year, if you really want to be honest. Honestly, it just begs the question how far of a leap that Justin Fields can go to actually be that elite type of player that we think he can be. Now, Justin Fields last year had himself a pretty good year 2 as he actually finished with 2,242 passing yards, 17 pass touchdowns, 11 receptions, completing 60% of his passes, having 1,143 rushing yards, which is second all time for QBs, adding 8 rushing touchdowns to which that was actually a really great second half of the season that Justin Fields did, because at one point we were all thinking man, Justin Fields might not be that guy. He's been overwhelmed. Of course, not having help excuse too, but it was just looking he wasn't elevating his team to actually put him in a chance to actually win games. And the second half of the season for sure, he really turned up to where there was games that actually was winnable because of him. Now, one of the key pieces to where they may actually help him make the year 3 leap is them having a better offensive line, as they drafted Darnell Wright from Tennessee in the first round, the 10th pick, as he was actually the second offensive lineman off the board, and he was actually really good in his last year in Tennessee too. So hopefully, he actually be one of those tackle positions and help protect Justin Fields, who was getting killed most of last year because of the offensive line. Now, one of the key offensive weapons that's coming back is Darnell Mooney, who was mostly injured for most of the year, but still somehow led the team in receiving yards last year because wide receivers wasn't really doing that much, especially since they had to trade for Chase Claypool for their own second round pick, and the pass catchers wasn't still doing that much for some odd reason. Even though he was injured for most of the last year, he was coming off a 1,000-yard receiving the year before, so he really could be one of the better number 2 receivers coming into next season. So don't be surprised if he actually bounced back with a 900-yard type of season. Now, Cole Kmet, whose first 2 seasons was very disappointing, that was off a really good season, especially in the second half when Justin Fields started to become really good, as he actually finished with 50 receptions for 544 yards and 7 touchdowns, which led this team in receiving. And what more else to kind of say about him? He was definitely the best receiver on the team because Darnell Mooney was hurt, but he really stepped up this year. As if he can have that good of a season this year, bro, they probably look for someone else at tight end at that point, because he was really disappointing the first 2 seasons he was in. So hopefully he'll be a really big piece and be the touchdown leader for next year. Now, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, and Khalil Herbert should all have some pretty good seasons for them, especially with Justin Fields being the QB, because this to be that second year in the system, and it should really be really explosive for all three of them, especially for Justin Fields. But I didn't go over the biggest addition to that new offense. That's them adding former Carolina Panthers wide receiver DJ Moore. And DJ Moore is a big upgrade for them because dude can separate for him, dude can catch out of his mind, and he's really great at running after the catch. And he was a former 1,000-yard receiver for him too. Even though he had himself a down year last year, like, dude is the #1 receiver for a reason, bro. There's a reason why they added him to the trade when they traded away their #1 overall pick for him. DJ Moore will really help out Justin Fields a lot because this would be the best receiver he actually played with, and also the fact that like he could be the Stephon Diggs what Josh Allen was basically for him. So this will really help him out big time for this offense to actually be, that next level good. Now, how good the Chicago Bears could be, I ain't gonna lie, like it really all depends on how good they actually gel together though, especially around the middle of the season, because that's where the point where like, most teams either become better, improving, or they actually start declining and like not get any better, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what happened last year when Justin Fields was QB last year. Like early on he didn't have that good of a year, but around mid-season though, like he actually started to like play better because the offense started to adjust like to Justin Fields' strengths, and they actually started to like look watchable for like the last half of the season. Now, other than the offense, trying to take that big leap, you also gotta worry about the defense too, because Matt Eberflus, if you ain't know, is a defensive-minded head coach. So hopefully him running that Tampa 2 defense, like hopefully they actually like play better, at least a little bit better, should improve in the second half of the season too, because like for them to actually fight for a playoff spot, like their defense has to be like at least middle of the road, bro, during this regular season. Because if they're not, especially if Justin Fields doesn't actually live up to like where you can be, like they're gonna be like right there in the top 10 picks yet again. Also, shout out to Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, as he at least gave this team a shot to actually win the division, because this division actually is winnable, believe it or not, because there's so many unknowns in this division, and also the fact that everybody's hyping up Justin Fields, to where like Justin Fields can be the reason why they actually win this division and actually make the playoffs for them. But all in all though, like I do see them as a team where like if they don't make the playoffs this year, they could definitely make the playoffs next year, because they're that good to where like I actually believe that they could make that next step to where they become like a potential playoff team, to where they can even be like a potential Super Bowl team. And all be on the back of that man Justin Fields. And I'm so excited for the Bears' future now. Appreciate y'all watching the video, man. Like if y'all like videos like this, man, go ahead, click on this next video I have on the screen. But like, comment, subscribe, and share the video for more videos like this. Y'all have a great day, man, and peace out.